Welcome to digital classes. Hello student, this video is for class 9th. Subject is science. Chapter 1, matter in our surrounding. It is the second part of this chapter. In the previous video I already told about this change of state of matter. There is two ways. One is by changing temperature and second way is by changing the pressure. Now I am going to detail about these topics. By changing temperature, first is melting point. The temperature at which a solid melts to form liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. Means the temperature required to change the state from solid to liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. Okay, now I am going to demonstrate this by an activity or experiment. You see, everyone see there is a beaker full of ice and the thermometer is placed in it. This beaker is keep on tripod and there is one Bunsen burner. Now start burning. Before start burning, you have to observe the temperature of ice, that is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, now start burning the beaker on a low flame and note the temperature when ice start melts. Finally, note the temperature when all the ice has been converted into water. You will observe that the temperature remains still or constant till the ice has completely melted. In this experiment or activity, we have seen from the above experiment that once the melting process starts, the temperature remains constant till the entire solid melts, even though we continue to supply the heat. A question which immediately comes to our mind is, where does the heat energy go? The heat energy is actually used up in overcoming the force of attraction between the particle of a solid during the change of state from solid to liquid without increasing their kinetic energy. Since the kinetic energy of the particle does not increase, therefore the temperature of the substance does not rise during the change of state. In other words, the heat gets hidden within the particles and is therefore called latent heat of vaporization. So what is latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat required to change 1 kg of solid to its liquid state. Everyone write down. The latent heat of fusion of ice is 3.347 into 10 to the power 5 joule per kg. Now the change of state from liquid to solid, this is freezing. The temperature at which a liquid freezes to become a solid at atmospheric pressure is called the freezing point. The process of freezing, that is change of state from liquid to solid, is also called solidification. Now by changing temperature, second, boiling point. The temperature at which a liquid boils to form vapors at atmospheric pressure is called boiling point. You see, now there is a beaker full of water and there is one thermometer placed in the beaker. That beaker is also on the tripod and there is one Bunsen burner. Now first you observe the temperature of the water and then start the flame. When you start the heating the beaker on a low flame and note the temperature when water start boiling. Keep on watching the thermometer reading till most of the water has vaporized. You will observe that the temperature remains constant during the boiling or change of state from liquid to gases. Now you will observe that during the change of state from liquid to gases, the temperature of the system remains constant till the entire volume of water is converted into vapor, even though heat is continuously being supplied. This heat is actually used up in overcoming the force of attraction between the particle of a liquid during the change of state from liquid to gas without increasing their kinetic energy. Since the kinetic energy of the particle does not increase, therefore the temperature of the liquid does not rise during the change of state, since the heat is absorbed without showing any rise in the temperature. Therefore it is called latent heat of vaporization. The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of liquid from vapor at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. Everyone write down. The latent heat of vaporization of water is 22.59 into 10 to the power 5 joule per kg. That is why the steam is more effective than boiling water for heating purpose. Impurity increase the boiling point of the liquid as well as the freezing point of the liquid. Now change of gaseous to liquid state is called condensation. The process of changing a gas or a vapor to a liquid by cooling is called condensation. One more thing I want to tell you. The burn caused by steam are much more severe than those caused by boiling water at the same temperature, that is 100 degrees Celsius. This is due to the reason that steam at 100 degrees Celsius has more heat than boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius. When steam at 100 degrees Celsius falls on our skin and condense to form water, it gives out 22.59 into 10 to the power 5 joule per kg more than boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius. So the burn caused by steam are much more severe than boiling water. Now sublimation. The change of solid directly to vapor on heating and vapor into solid on cooling without passing through the liquid stage called sublimation. For example, camphor, ammonium chloride, naphthalene ball. I think everyone see naphthalene ball in their home or at their home. Naphthalene ball is a solid and directly change into vapor when the temperature is more. If the temperature is less, the sublimation process is little slow. And the another example is dry ice. Dry ice is again is solid and directly changes into vapor. Example of some other substance which undergoes sublimation on heating are ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene, anthracene, benzoic acid and iodine, etc. Now I will explain sublimation of ammonium chloride. I want to demonstrate the process of sublimation by taking the example of ammonium chloride. Take some ammonium chloride powder in a pestle and mortar and place it in a clean and dry china dish. Cover the china dish with a perforated filter paper. Place an inverted funnel on a filter paper as shown in the figure. Close the stem of the funnel with a cotton plug. On heating china dish, the vapor of the ammonium chloride rise up, pass through the hole in the filter paper, get cooled in the upper portion of the funnel and change into the solid form. Thus, the solid thus formed get deposited on the inner wall of the funnel. When the experiment is over, the pure solid is scraped from the inverted funnel with a spatula or a knife or a clean on a clean watch glass. Now application of sublimation. The process of sublimation is very useful in the purification of such solids which sublime on heating and contain non-volatile impurities. For example, when an impure sample of naphthalene containing non-volatile impurity is heated, naphthalene will form vapor which we get deposited on the upper cooler portion of the funnel while the non-volatile impurities remain in the dish. In a very cold places, the snow does not melt but sublime directly to vapor. In frost-free refrigerator, ice on the wall of the freezer sublime when warm air is circulated through the compartment during the defrost cycle. Next, freeze-dried foods prepared by sublimation can be stored for long time. To prepare freeze-dried foods, the food is first frozen and then placed in a vacuum chamber where it dried as the ice sublime. The dry food remain all of its nutritional value and needs more water to make it ready for eating. A food that is freeze dried does not need refrigeration because bacteria cannot grow without moisture. See, this is naphthalene balls or moth balls. We can put these balls to the woolen clothes to prevent it from moth. See, dry ice is an example of sublimation. Dry ice is solid carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide is typically found as a gas. We know that. When it is frozen into a solid, it turns directly into a gas and totally skips the liquid stage. It means the carbon dioxide or a dry ice is a solid state and it directly into gas without change into the liquid state. See, I already told you about this. One extremely common example is snow that forms in clouds. Water vapor change directly into ice without first becoming a liquid. And whereas in cold places the snow does not melt but sublime directly into vapors. In this figure, you see when the solid changes into gas directly without changing into liquid is called sublimation, and when gas directly changes into solid without change in liquid state is called deposition. See, solid change into liquid is melting, liquid change into gas is a vapor. When gas condenses, it forms liquid, and liquid freeze, it becomes solid. Now, what is deposition? Deposition is a process where a gas change phase and turn directly into solid without passing through the liquid phase. It is also the opposite of sublimation. There are three scales on which the temperature of a system can be measured. These are called Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale, and Kelvin scale. Kelvin scale is also known as absolute scale. On the Celsius scale, the freezing point of the water is taken as 0 degrees Celsius, while its boiling point is taken as 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the thermometer with Celsius scale are calibrated from 0 to 100 degrees Celsius. Everyone write this formula in their notebook. This is the formula to convert Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. On the Fahrenheit scale, the freezing point of the water is taken as 32 degree F, while its boiling point is taken as 212 degree F. So the Fahrenheit scale are calibrated from 32 degree F to 212 degree F. The Celsius and Fahrenheit scale are related to each other by the relation Write down everyone. This is the formula to convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Everyone write down this formula in their notebook. Kelvin in the SI unit of temperature, it is denoted by the symbol K. The sign of degree is not used in Kelvin scale. On this scale, the freezing point of water, that is 0 degrees Celsius, is taken as 273.16 Kelvin. For convenience, we take 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273 K as a round off. And the boiling point of water, that is 100 degrees Celsius, is taken as 373 Kelvin. In this figure, you will see the 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273.15 K, but the round off is 273. And the 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of water, this is 373.15 on Kelvin scale, but the round off is 373 Kelvin. So 0 degree Celsius is equal to 273 K and minus 273 degrees Celsius is equal to 0 K. Everyone write down these in their notebook. During conversion of Celsius to Kelvin or Kelvin to Celsius, it is very much important. So please write down in your notebook. Now pressure in gases. Motion of the molecules and pressure. Moving gas molecules collide with the inner wall of the container and exert a force on it. The force exerted per unit area is thus called gas pressure. Air contains a large number of gas particles, and the air particles have a definite mass. Therefore, when they collide with the surface of the earth, they exert a pressure that is also called atmospheric pressure. Now the pressure and temperature relationship of a gas. At a higher temperature, the air molecules have greater speed, greater average kinetic energy. The air molecules will then bombard the wall of their container more forcefully and more frequently as there is more kinetic energy. This causes an increase in gas pressure inside the container. Now the volume and temperature relation of gas. When the air is heated, the increased temperature causes the air molecules to move at a higher speed. The air molecules will then bombard the wall of their container more forcefully and more frequently as pressure increases. The air exert and the air molecules move further apart, causing the air molecules to occupy a large volume. They collide with the wall less frequently but more forcefully and maintaining constant pressure. You will see in this there is two piston and there is atmospheric pressure on the both piston. In the first case, more frequently collision, but each collision is less forcefully. Whereas in the second piston, this is slightly above in the position. Less frequent collision, but each collision is more powerful at the same atmospheric pressure. This is the relationship of a gas with volume and temperature. Now these are SI and non-SI unit of gas pressure. SI unit is Pascal, PA, and 1 Pascal is 1 Newton per meter square. Then atmosphere ATM, 1 ATM is equal to 0.1.325 kilopascal. Millimeter of mercury Hg, Hg is 760 Hg is equal to 1 ATM, which is equal to 101.325 kilopascal. Thor, 1 Thor is equal to 1 mm Hg. I hope everyone understand what I describe in this video.